You know the story about Jesus and meat? These Jewish fellows someday, especially from the priesthood, on the Sabbath day, they found Jesus eating meat.
So wait, what's wrong with that? Jesus never ate meat? It was not good to eat meat on
Sabbath day.
So what's the significance of Sabbath day and not eating meat?
Sabbath day they all who need meat, they'll eat it.
Holy day, lah.
They eat more vegetables. So they went to Jesus and said, you are claiming to be prophet and son of God and all that. How can you go and eat meat on a Sabbath day and breaking the rules of religion? What do you think Jesus would have said?
I'm not a vegetarian, I don't know.
This is a very important statement. He looked at them up and said, what maketh a man holy is not what goes into his mouth, but what comes out from his mouth. They all kept his mouth shut and walked. See or not?
Right.
What maketh a man holy is not what goes into his mouth, but what comes out from his mouth, words.
So,
look, I mean, who expected that kind of answer?
Okay, so you're saying like we can actually eat anything?
Yes, that's why don't harm the body. Not poisonous.
But I think the sense of moderation as human beings...
Moderation is the guide.
We lose the sense of moderation because we don't know what is more and what is less. I
told you, the priest said it must contain all the nutrients the body needs. And the amount, moderate. Don't overeat, don't undereat. If you're exercising heavily, you can eat a bit more. That's all. That is the basic, we call it the, what rule is that? Rule of the thumb. On food. See, if you look at Indians, they have the most complicated food, you know.
Why you say that?
In terms of the ingredients.
Why you say that? They have produced a lot of those spices.
So many things inside. The seeds. They have the macro, which is the rice and all that. Then they have the micro, all the veg spices and all that inside. And you see how they cook. It's not just simply by baking and all that. You have to grind, you have to cook.
But what is the difference? Is it because it's geologically different? That like maybe in Europe they don't produce enough of
there are two
spices?
factors. One, taste. You must make it tasty. That's why they have all the spices, this one, this, so on, correct. The other one, it must have all the nutrients. That is why it is in the seeds. All the spices, beans and all that.
So you're telling me people knew this?
My God. Have you gone to eat and compare the taste of the Indian food and their food?
That's why, like you said, somewhere in Europe, right? Maybe because they, you know, like even them getting spices, they always had to import spices. So geographically...
Right. That is one of the reasons why their food is there. It's not as spice tasty as the Indian food.
Because places like Asia produces more herbs, beans and spices.
Possible. But that is one thing. But to develop the recipe is another thing.
But then you cannot blame Europeans for having that kind of food.
No. Don't blame. I'm talking about the taste.
But still, would you say because geographically they don't get enough nutrients as well?
Yes, that's one of the reasons.
Why
what is giving taste to the Indian food? The spices, the chili, the salt, the puli and all that. They don't have much of that there. That's why spice became a big money-making business. Right. They wanted to add taste into their food.
some
So
cumin
there was
and
a
some
spice
pepper.
war. People coming to collect spices. They collected, if they collect a ship of spice, they are millionaires.
Right. Spice was gold at that time.
Yeah, that is why they think the spice was a big issue. Spice war, fighting for spices.
This is when, like, what? Back in like when did this happen? The Spice War.
When the British started coming to the east.
It's like what? 1920s, 1930s.
There was some going through China, to India, to Arabia and all that. But the major one came when they started coming 14, 15, 1600.
Oh, okay. 1400.
Remember Magellan? 14 something.
I don't know.
Magellan is the first fellow to go around the world.
Who's Magellan? I don't know. What Magellan?
Ferdinand Magellan is the first fellow to circumvent the
Wait,
world.
what's his name?
Ferdinand Magellan.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, that's why let's all don't know. If he came around, and when he reached Philippines, he already finished, but the Philippines will have killed him
Oh, why?
in a place called Iloilo.
Oh, why? Why they killed him?
Because his white fellas coming, they throw, who don't know.
He should have brought some spice.
They were scared, somebody is coming to attack them or what, I don't know.
Right.
Poor flag.
But it was documented that he
Yeah.
circled the globe.
That is history. Who runs around the world? Magellan.
So I want to talk about the taste. You said taste.
Taste.
Would you say that defines greatness? I would say, because like some people might not add herbs and spices even though they have it because of what they like based on their taste. So would you say taste defines like greatness even in preparing food? Like great meals come from great taste?
You understand? Spice. See, the Indians use spice. Probably they were thinking how to make the food nutritious and tasty. So they had the spice for nutrition, they also had certain spice for taste. Like chilies and pepper and all that.
Yeah, but what I'm asking is, some might not have that taste of being like.
Yeah. You got to get used to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
We are used to it because Mother made all that and we got used to it. But when you start eating it, like Chinese all, they don't have that part. But when they came here, they eat Indian food, they also started liking it.
Right.
So it is acquired also to some extent.
Acquired taste.
Acquired. After that, you say, hey, this tastes better, go.
Acha, I was reading about like how certain people in Nepal, like their staple diet is like honey. Like they get honey from like mountains and stuff like that. And they don't really develop like diabetes even though they eat so much of sweetness. Because like the body is like generationally, the body's kind of used to it. Do you think that makes sense? Does that make sense?
No,
Because
honey, of course, there's some sugar, but you don't eat so much, And
because what I'm saying is certain places in the world you are not it's not available. All this spice beads are not available to you.
They will take honey, milk and all.
Yeah, so like certain places only like staple diet is like milk. But some like if you're from another place on earth and then you just go to this place and just have milk, you might become sick, you might fall sick. So what do you say about like the body's adaptation towards the food they eat staply?
Right. As you take, the body get used to it, adapt to it. So there are people who take a lot of honey and all that, they still didn't get that. Diabetes sometimes won't come. It's a genetic predisposition, we call it. A genetic predisposition. Of course, lifestyle and diet also can add to that. You may get it earlier.
So let's say today I move to Spain, let's say.
Hmm.
I only have cheese. Every day I eat cheese. What happened to me?
Spanish food. Okay, well.
I'm talking specifically cheese. Like everything has cheese, or everything has cheese. Would my body, if I move to Spain today and then I just eat cheese only, breakfast cheese,
Cheese.
just
Not
cheese.
enough, not enough.
So would I just my body won't be able to adapt to it?
No. May adapt after a time. But of course, some people cannot. You can eat cheese, but you have to eat other things, so vegetable, fish, this and all that.
Right. But if I'm unable to, then
Because they are good at cheese. I remember going there. Butter, cheese, all they're fantastic.
Right.
But they also have fish, vegetables and all that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying like the adaptation of your body towards a certain geographical area.
Body can get used to eating more cheese. Adaptation. The body is quite, we call it adaptable.
It's kind of
You see, like us, Indians, but when we came to Malaysia, we can eat Chinese food, Malay food and all. Same, but used to eat from small, we start eating here and we.
But I would say in retrospect, we are kind of spoiled. The varieties we have in Malaysia, it's beautiful, but
The whole world is here.
yeah, but we're kind of spoiled, you know.
We lie, but you see, that's why we are lucky. We like to eat, but you must know how much to eat. That's all. Don't simply go and eat like the Romans. Remember the Roman Empire? Did I tell you a story, isn't it?
Or like gluttony.
Huh?
Right.
They're going to eat and then vomit and then eat again, or vomit and then eat again. This type of behavior, so most of them died very young.
You know, that time it's like our consciousness and realization is all about like
Because the
pleasure.
The citizens, they were enjoying. The slaves were doing all the work.
You know, it's like pleasure was the number one thing because you know they had a lot of concubines, sex was rapid, they had like orgies.
Yeah.
And then they just food everywhere in abundance.
They had all the fun.
Just died with that.
That's why the Roman Empire.
But I would say in today's century, we're not 100% balanced either. We still fall on some pleasure, satisfaction. Huh?
Nobody is perfect. Some are extreme, some are okay.
But it's more balanced than what it was.
Of course.
Yeah. Because we have like laws that we have put forward.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Knowledge. That's why Malaysians must be careful.